All right, welcome everyone. This is Tim Marlow, your host to Be the Better Local, coming to you live from our studios here in Tacoma, Washington. We have two special guests on our mics today. They're two ladies. They're creating a Mama 360 platform that is helping women and moms all across that are helping them on different platforms. So we're here to learn more about what Mama 360 is. So welcome, Tracy and Melissa. How are y'all?
Good, thanks. We're good.
Well, we want to learn a little bit about both of you before we get into the Mama 360, which is, I believe, which is the important side of what we're going on. But why are people listening to you? Why are people being attracted to you guys in a sense where they want to join these programs? Go ahead.
Good question.
Right?
Well, I think Melissa and I have both kind of been in the game of wanting to help people improve their lives for years now. And so I think with that comes a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
But also, I think there isn't any other kind of program out there like this. And I think it's really needed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling. I mean, since we got started, I feel like the universe has just been like, I'm going to pave the way and I'm going to make it really easy for you because I think moms just really need it because we're in support of them.
Yeah, when you're always looking for another vessel, it seems like when something comes along and it makes it where your life is just open door after open door, like, I got to share this idea.
Yeah.
And why did it take me so long to figure this one out? So go ahead, Melissa.
I think, well, coming from a history of working out, being into fitness and nutrition for the past 11 years, I've always, worked with women and seen women, the happier they are when they're feeling their best, their whole life is better.
Right.
And so being a nutrition and wellness coach and doing this type of work, when we kind of decided to collaborate on this, we were just, the biggest takeaway for us was for them to have a place and community to be like a part of and heard and not feel judged or like have us tell you what you should and should not do. Like, you don't need that. You don't want someone to be like, you should breastfeed. You should not do that. We're more of like, what do you do? How can we help you? How do we make you a better version of the mom that you'd want to be? And so that's kind of how we collaborated on it. So for me, it always just fills my bucket more when I can help people through wellness, nutrition, mental mindset, kind of all those things. That's kind of like, that's my passion with it.
Yeah, we were going over just briefly earlier before the show, but what brought you two ladies together for this passionate project of Mama 360?
Well, I mean, so my background is as a personal chef.
Right.
Got my start in the yachting industry, and as I left that career to start a family, I was like, how can I bring the gift of cooking and what it opens up for you to other people? Because if I can learn, anybody can learn.
Sure.
And so I think Melissa kind of saw me in the community. We had similar mom friends. We'd run into each other here and there, but I think she just saw, like, here's a woman who's out there, involved with wellness retreats. She's doing cooking lessons. She's always talking about, helping people find their right diet. And I think for you, maybe that was, I'm guessing, why you
Totally
approached me and
I
said,
did.
let's do something.
I did. I approached her. We were out, and I was just like, we should do something, and we joke about it, but I'm like your, cross your T Excel nerd, and she's like my flowy Zen, go with the flow. So like we really I knew when we would work together, it would work because like we're very similar in the things that we love, but we're also very different at what we're good at.
Yeah.
And that's like the best partnership you can have is when you can work
Get the
with
yin and the
strength.
yang right
Totally.
there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
And that's why I brought it up. Like, we should do something. And then we met at coffee, like a week later, and we should do something for postpartum moms, or we should do something for moms in general. We should do something for pregnant moms. Because I just had a baby 7 months ago.
Right.
So I was like living in that moment of Googling what I should not and should
Right.
do. What can I eat? What can't I eat? What exercise should I not do? What about after? And instead of having other moms have to Google things or learn how to keep your kitchen pantry easy, like, why don't we just be one-stop shop for these ladies so they don't have to like Google and research like I was doing copious amounts of time.
Now, have you noticed that that's something that, or at least that you're hearing from other moms, that they're trying to Google things, they're trying to figure things out versus maybe going to a primary care doctor, or are they listening to their doctors? Are they trying to do alternative habits, or what would that be? Just because it seems to me that at least the hospitals are limiting, at least with how many visitations you can have. I haven't been to any ultrasound except for one of them.
That was my husband as well.
And so it's like, I can't only but be so much, but are they Googling things? Are they, what are they doing? What are you hearing?
I mean, for the fitness industry part, for me, yeah, there's nothing taught like postpartum. There's not a lot of things like you get cleared, but like what are you really cleared for? And so learning about pelvic floor therapy, I didn't even know they existed until I took this course that I took. And I was like, I didn't even know there was a pelvic floor therapist that could really tell me where I'm at after 3 kids, or what do I need to work on. So I Googled like what exercises not to do if you have abdominal issues and all this. And so I took a course for a year and a half and studied all some And I was doing it for one, myself, but two, for the people that I knew that I was working with. Hey, I've now learned this. I'm certified. Here's some things we can do to modify. You can still work out and do all the things, but yeah, you're just kind of Googling like, should I not work out? Should I work out? And a lot of their doctors, it's not their fault, but like, that's not really their specialty.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not what
They're not there to be like, let me be your trainer and your doctor.
Right.
And so that was my passion behind really getting certified in that, and then having it be my 3rd pregnancy. I got lucky the other 2 times with not having, gone too crazy. I didn't want to do that again. So that kind of, 3rd time I was like, I don't know if I'll get that lucky again.
Sure.
Well, and what I saw between the 2 of us, we have 5 kids, and we're both the kind of women who have our own passion projects, like to be creative, like to work. And when you have a baby, a lot of that gets stripped away. And so there's this immense loss of self that comes with the territory. And, when we pull back and we look at that, it's kind of the beauty of it, because with every birth of a child, there's like a rebirth of the woman as well, coming into her new identity. And what we both realized was there's a lot of information out there about how to be a parent, how to mom, the breastfeeding, the weaning, the sleep training, all of that. But there's really not a lot of support for just the woman herself, who she is, going through the change, dealing with the struggles, and losing a part of herself, and not being able to do really simple things that just make her who she is. And so a lot of us are just kind of scrambling to find a new identity. And I think that's where we felt really passionate about creating a workshop that was for the woman herself. We're not giving you parenting advice. We're teaching you how you can fill your cup so that you can be there for everyone else.
Be the best mom, be the best wife, be the best significant other. So don't Google what you need. Contact these ladies is what they're saying. At least to start off with. They're local. They're going to be able to help you for sure. So let's talk about maybe those programs. Well, let's talk about the programs. What is a mom looking at when they're like, I want to do Mama 360? And is it also a mom of 1, or is it a mom of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Like who?
Well, when we first started, we were very much like the postpartum, because she had her certification. We were like, oh, we got to get to the new moms and welcome them into this sisterhood of motherhood. Yeah. But to be honest, we had so many moms that even their kids were, I think the last one were in high school, and moms of multiple children, all different ages. And they're like, I need this. Like, I need to know how to work out. I need to know how to eat better. And so we were like, okay, I guess we need to open it up to all moms, because I guess, and again, it was just that other sign of showing that this is what moms really need right now. We need to go bigger with this. We even wanted to keep it local to just Gig Harbor, Tacoma, and have in-person meetings. But we had so many people. I mean, we had people in Canada. We had people all over the country that wanted to join. And so, the other thing is, when you do have a new baby, just getting in your car and driving 20 minutes away and having to be somewhere else can feel very overwhelming and be stressful. And so having the virtual workshops and opening it up to that type of wherever you are platform, wherever you are in motherhood, it was kind of just laid out before us, like, this is what you're going to do because this is what's needed. But to talk more about what the actual structure is. So it's 4 workshops. They're 1 hour long. We meet virtually on Zoom, and we go over fitness, nutrition, mental health, and spiritual connection. So it takes us about 3 weeks to get through all the stuff. You get a worksheet or a workbook with different worksheets. And what we actually figured out is, like, we were so geared with all of our lessons, and we're like, we'll ask the ladies some questions and they can share, and that's all they want to do.
Is just share.
They just want to share. I mean, when you give a mom the sacred space to feel safe and to say, we're listening to you and you're justified and we're here for you, I mean...
And that's the other thing, is I don't think you get that undivided attention really ever. You know what I mean? Like if I were to tell my problems to my husband, I love him to death, but like he's never had a kid. He doesn't know what it feels like to not feel good in your jeans and you feel like you should be. And you know, like how do you, he's like, I don't really know how to help you with that. You know, if you haven't walked in the shoes, it's really hard. But to then bug your friends about it, you know, and be like, oh, hear me. But when you have that like moments, like when you're with a therapist, you just get to like say what you need to say, feel what you need to feel, and you have all these other eyes like legitimately listening to you. It feels like you feel heard. You know what I mean? And it makes
it's relatable. They're there, and they're literally going through it at the same moment.
And everybody's like, oh my God, me too. Oh yeah. And all of a sudden they realize, oh my God, I'm not the only one.
Right.
And that is comfort right there and alone. Because a lot of times, whatever you're going through, whether you had kids in high school or just had a baby, you feel certain things, you feel sad or whatever, and you sometimes feel like you're the only one. When you find out that other people are feeling that same way, it kind of like validates, oh, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Or I'm like, oh, yay.
And it's
not
okay to
just
have
me.
those emotions and go up and down.
Yeah.
You just need to recognize them and learn how to deal with them. And I think that's what you two ladies are definitely helping out with, that is when they are coming with these emotions, how do I deal with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I deal with it? I
Totally.
definitely don't want to be scrolling on Instagram trying to find that answer.
No.
So having some local ladies like yourself will definitely help that out. Because, you know, I have a 12-year-old, Miss Marley, and she asks me all the time, you know, did you do this when I was, you know, young with or like Evie's age? I'm like, girl, that was 10 years ago. Like, I don't, like, it's hard to remember some of those small details. God bless you.
totally
But yes, we
is.
did everything. If it pleases you now, we did it then. I'm just going to let you know that. Yes.
I know. And you know what's cool is like having those moms that have the older kids. She's able to shine some wisdom on the moms of younger kids, and
That's been really
because
cool.
there's so many different stages. You know, as you go, I'm sure with the 12-year-old, you know, it's like there's the baby phase, there's the toddler stage, then they get into school, then they start going through puberty. I mean, there's just always new things, and with every stage comes new lessons and new realizations. And so having those older moms can kind of say like, hey, I've been there, kind of put things in perspective.
So when you're looking out, you Melissa, you're talking about Googling things, and I don't know if you had to Google yourself because you already knew a few things, but is there a lot of moms support out there? Like, I mean, there's probably Facebook groups if you look hard enough, but again, that's a lot of virtual things, not the in-person stuff. Where would people look right now for support if y'all weren't
I bet
available?
you there's probably, I mean, even in Gig Harbor, there's Gig Harbor moms, there's groups, there's things like that. There's probably a lot of that out there, but it's more, you know, what is their, like, what exactly are they looking for? So for me, I wasn't, you know, I was Googling, you know, for diastasis, what exercises not to do when your abs are separated after birth, you know, and then it gives you a list of things. But then I'm like, well, I don't even know who these people are. Are they certified? Should I listen? I don't know. And then that's when I found the cert that I did, because I was like, why not just educate myself, get it, learn it, and then be that resource for other people so they know that I'm credible and I'm not just spewing off some stuff. Or, you know, posting things that I might not look like when I say I look like a certain way. Because there's a lot of stuff that people get in trouble for that on Instagram all the time. I'm in the fitness world with it, and I see it. And a lot of them get red flagged when they promote how they look, and it's not what it is, but they're promoting something that they're doing to look a certain way. So you kind of have to be careful with that. So that's where I was like, well, I don't know, I'll just Google. But I just wanted to take that out for moms, that they're, you know, if they really had a question on, you know, certain things with food or with nutrition or with exercising, or even if they had a baby 10 years ago and they're still having issues, I can at least give you some guidance on that.
Cool.
I think there's a lot of places for moms to find support. But I think either the programs are very specific. It's either like a fitness geared support system, or it's a postpartum depression support system, or it's, you know, maybe they're selling something, or it's under a certain heading. You know, I know like there's MOPS. MOPS is amazing at a church in our town, but not everybody is the same religion. So right there, you're having some women might be excluded if they're not going to that church. And so what I thought was so cool about what we put together is that we're not telling you what to eat. We're not telling you what exercises to do. We're not telling you how to pray or who to pray to. We're just giving you these tools to create a platform of sound advice from our own expertise, so that they can create their own wellness lifestyle that works for them. And we're not selling anything. People can have any type of fitness level, dietary practices, any religion. Like when I say we do spiritual connection, it's just building upon whatever you might already have in your life. You know, a lot of times we have faith, but we kind of look to it to the church. And what I try to do is try to find the way that people can really connect with whatever faith they have on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it's the inner peace when you can really tap into that. It seems like solitude becomes almost a breathtaking moment for you, just so you can, have those moments of just talking to yourself and relating and getting through a moment, because you can't always just drive up to the next church, or sometimes church doors are closed because pastors and preachers got to go home and all that good stuff. But when you can have that intense anxiety or intense emotional moment in your life, you can just go to yourself and look inward.
And going on what she said, I think working with people, the more you tell people to do something, it's harder for them to actually incorporate it, as opposed to me saying, what can you do that you think that can empower yourself? Because when you make those decisions yourself, you're way more likely to carry it out because you've said it, that's what you want. If I said go home and do 10 sit-ups, it's going to give you abs. You go home and do 10 sit-ups and and you're like, it didn't give me abs, that's her fault. Where if you were like, I'm going to go do XYZ, you feel more like, okay, well, this is my plan, my program, so I'm going to fulfill it as much as I can, and I'm the only one to look at. Because I'm the one that's created this for myself. And so when we give it, advice in the sense of like, hey, you can do these types of things, they get to pick and choose whatever that is and incorporate it however they want, so that it empowers them to kind of create the lifestyle that they want. It's not something that Tracy and I do.
Right.
It kind of gives them their own identity of what they want to do.
Right.
Remind us of the pillars, because again, I think what you said was great. You have a platform, but you're able to create a unique platform for each individual mom. So you have a couple pillars that are kind of like the foundation, which is fitness, eating healthy, spiritual, and I think there was one other
And
one.
mental health.
And mental health. And so how do you create that for someone brand new? I mean, I guess it's just listening, right? Getting to know the woman and the mom, right?
Well, and so with the fitness, I mean, that's Melissa's baby, right? Because she's got all the education and the experience in those new moms or ones that just had the baby. So talking about the diastasis recti and how to prevent that and how to breathe properly, how to just stand up and hold your baby properly.
Sure.
So that stuff is super valuable. But then, yes, for the moms that are like, well, I'm okay in that area, but I'm kind of ready to find a fitness program. It is like we give them a worksheet for them to fill out. And so it gets them start to think like, what is it that I need? What do I like doing?
What level am I on? What
And then being able to provide that sacred space, like she said, for them to say it, for them to put it out into the universe and go, well, I think I should start walking, or I think I should start doing some videos. We also pair with Beachbody, and they give the ladies free access to their on-demand classes for the 3 weeks that they're in the program. So again, it's just about like offering all the tools. When it comes to the food part, the nutrition, she's so dialed in on like the food that affects your mood, the breastfeeding foods that are going to be good for keeping the milk supply, but also the ones that you need to look out to that might have the gassiness for the baby. And then I come through and go, okay, now that we have a list of foods that are great, let's talk about how we can actually make some great stuff with it and get organized in our kitchen. And my philosophy, I've been on here talking about it lots before, is all about being a conscious eater. So I'm like, hey, if it tastes good, it makes you feel good, and you feel good about it, go for it. So again, we're not promoting any kind of restrictions. No. It's just empowering the women to reflect on themselves and their own goals and giving them that space to claim what they want to create.
Yeah. One of the things that I liked that y'all said was the fact that you let them speak it into existence, because we can tell people all day long our views, our opinions, what helped for us, but if those trigger words aren't there where they can actually say, oh, that's what they mean. Or, it could be something as simple as exercising and walking. You said I could exercise, but you didn't say I could walk. And walking is what I think that I would be doing first. So, giving that platform, it's very powerful, because, again, you get them to recognize what you're trying to actually come across with the whole program.
And, most of it, even for me with what I do from, a living, is it's baby steps. Like if you try to start to do everything gung-ho, you're going to fizzle and fade out. You have to do, if it's just walking in the beginning, then walk for a week, walk for 2 weeks, and then see how you feel, and then maybe add something else.
Yeah.
So it's allowing them to kind of realize that starting small in whatever area they're wanting to start small in is starting, period. It doesn't have to be everything or all or is nothing.
Right.
They can
Today's
kind of
workout is tomorrow's, or today's workout is tomorrow's warm up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
if you just do a little bit each week, and that's, what we try to help convey is, own where you're at, and that's okay, and start wherever you need to start, because starting is doing something. And when you think you have to do what I do for a workout, you're not going to start, like, well, I don't know if I want to do all those types of things she does. Well, don't do those things. Like, start however you want to start, and it might not even be something that I want to do,
I think one of the best ways for every mom out there to start on their path to becoming a healthier mom, 100 or 360 degrees around, is contacting you guys. So let's talk about how they can contact you. Do you have a new session that's coming up, new programs? When's the next program, and where can they sign up?
So it's mama360.org. Real straightforward. MAMA.
M-A-M-A.
Mama.
Okay.
360.org. And you can sign up for the next session, which is January.
Okay.
So it goes every month. I think we take 2 months off in the summer.
Yeah.
But we'll have some other opportunities to connect. And it's always going to be $30 for the entire program.
Okay.
But we're starting to add a couple different levels in there, because what we found was, we created the platform. We have 3 months under our belt. So we created the platform. Ladies began kind of looking at themselves and going, okay, this is what I want to create. These are the meditation practices I want to bring into my life. But then it was like, okay, see you later. And they're like, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So we were like, we need to create something where we can continue to check in with these ladies and continue to kind of walk with them on their journey, so that everybody's at a different place. Everybody needs different advice at different times. So we've kind of revamped the Mama 360, and we're not only recording all of our lessons now, so that it turns into a self-study, and then when we're on the workshop in the Zoom, it's all sharing and caring, and there's no listening to us. But also we're beginning a monthly membership, so that then we can meet continually every month and check in, and we have guest speakers that are going to be coming and sharing their wisdom in all different areas of wellness. We'll be able to put some more workouts out there, some more recipes,
Blogs.
and all the stuff to just keep the energy going. I think we got a lot of women started on their path, and then they were like, and now what?
And now what?
So we gotta carry on and do something.
Yeah.
To give them more, give them content too.
Sure.
There's so much stuff that I have in my brain every day that I'm like, man, we need to,
They need to know this.
They need to know this
They
or
need
get this
to know
out
this
there,
stuff.
and it's always fun to have a community of people. There's not one person that I know that's like, oh, I don't like to be a part of something,
Sure.
especially for how intimate motherhood can, totally.
So
be.
what does Mama 360 look like? 3 years, 5 years,
shoot.
10 years. I mean, this is stuff that you're going to be able to walk alongside someone's child as they grow up with them. So what does that look like for y'all?
That's a good question.
I mean, I was thinking on the way here, decades ago, we all really lived in a much tighter knit community. We had our grandparents and our aunts and uncles and our siblings, and that allowed for more childcare and more opportunities to lean on each other. And now I feel like the structure, we don't all get to live in the same town as our aunt or our family, extended family. And so we're expected to be the breadwinners, the full-time parents, got to have that self-time and that self-care going. And now parenting, there's so much information out there. You can't let them watch the iPad. You can't give them gluten. You have to be super involved. And it's like, and we have to do it all on our own. Yeah. And so I thought, in the future, maybe we will be able to offer some more one-on-one therapies, some more just childcare, right? Here's a place where you can drop your kids off once in a while. Here's a place where you can come and work out. You never know, but it does take a village. And I think that's what we want to create is that village. Yeah.
Now, are y'all only doing postpartum? Or y'all doing anybody that are currently pregnant or plan to be pregnant? What would that look like?
We've done we had one group where we all had babies, because I had a baby 7 months ago. We all had babies 6 months ago. And that's just how it worked out. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, we're all in the same, pattern. Then this last one, we had kids in high school, middle school, elementary school.
Yeah.
Pregnant, you could easily do it pregnant. We haven't had anybody that's been pregnant do it quite yet, but it could be something to where they, maybe if they're a first-time mom, maybe if they're a second or third-time mom, they kind of have their own routine with it. But if they feel like they need connection, but for me going into being pregnant, that would have been awesome to be a part of people that I've already seen walk the path however many times to just get a sense of like, okay, well that will be normal, or oh I didn't know that was gonna happen, or just like
and the
stuff
preparation,
like that, the preparation for things that you don't really know.
Yeah, the postpartum ways of moving and healing, and the therapy for your core that you share.
Yeah.
To have that, like, to be prepped for that instead of having to take that on after you've had the baby, because now it's go time. Actually embrace that prior to the baby coming, I think would be so helpful. And knowing what the foods are that are going to keep the milk in check, because we're thinking about that day one. So you don't have the wherewithal to do Mama 360 the first month. You've got so much going on. So I think it would actually be incredibly valuable,
Be really valuable.
for the pregnant lady, especially when we come to the mental and the spiritual. I mean, that's for anybody, even men. I mean, I think that's just a great part of the program.
It is.
But yes, I think it's really for any mom at any stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really incredible, because, just some of the things I was thinking about as you branch off, and maybe I'm speaking too much into it while y'all are still getting it off the ground, but like Kid 360, you're talking about the daycare, like then you can implement all those 4 pillars for the kids, and so that can be their structure and their education through while they're being all that. And it's not going to really change too much on what y'all are doing. It may be just portion size and just understanding the kids within those demographics.
Right, and if you can teach the parents or the moms, like when you create a new lifestyle for yourself, the whole family kind of is involved in that. And I think if you can educate kids, or or they see their moms eating healthy, or they see their moms and dads working out, or they or whatever, they
mimic everything.
They mimic everything, or they can. I mean, my kids have seen my husband and I work out since. They started going to the gym with me when they were 6 weeks old. They don't know any different. Like Mimi today is like, when are we going to the gym? Like it's just a part of her routine now too. When are we going to the gym? Or so to be able to help other families kind of create that if they want that. I think that's super empowering, especially for their kids to be involved in it and see it too, because it is fun when your whole family's like engaged in that.
Yeah, you don't feel like you have to leave them, because that was one thing, at least years ago before I was married with Sadie and having our beautiful family growing here in Washington. I was in the fitness industry. I just felt like I was always leaving people. And then I had like my gym life people, because you always saw them at the gym. You never saw them anywhere else, but you always saw them at the gym. And but it was never anything that was inclusive with everyone else that was around me. So I think that's really important, because again, you have more support at that point. They understand why you're going to the gym, because you should be coming with me.
And they let you know, and they enjoy it. They think it's, I don't know, I mean, maybe not every, but I know my kids at least enjoy it, and they think it's fun. And I think they don't know any different in the sense of that's just what they've grown up with. With us kind of doing that and living that kind of, lifestyle. But I think that's a really great idea.
And a lot of kids join their moms during the workshop. That's another benefit of it being virtual.
We see a lot of kids on Zoom.
Yeah, the kids are right there, and just to be able to say like, mommy's doing this for her. This is my group. This is my time to get support and learn new ways of living a holistic lifestyle. I mean, just right there. That's a great example to say.
And that probably segues into like, you don't have to look good on it either. Like you're not there dressed up fancy. Like this is Zoom. This is mom. This is like real SHIT. It's not like we're all dolled up and ready to teach. Like I got a bun in my hair, and the moms were like, "Don't even come as you are. Look tired as what. Have your kids hang on you. Have your kid feed on you. Like this is legit how it would be." Sitting there needing something, and all you got to do is just click. There you go. And that's why we wanted to do Zoom. I mean, obviously connection's always great, but it is very helpful for people that really can't make it out, or the moms that I really want this, but I'm just so tired. Well, look tired. We don't care. Click.
I'm tired too.
And so we like to promote that as well. I don't know. People sometimes think like, well, what do you guys? I got a text. Well, what do we wear? I'm like, oh my god. sweatshirt.
What do you wear?
Sweatshirt. You know what I mean? You don't have to look good for this. This is
Sure.
just content, information, and us connecting as
Right.
as real people, not having to look great for that.
And that makes me think that I want to say we only take 6 moms a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep
Because
it intimate.
Limited. Y'all need to
Yes.
sign up.
It is
Sign up.
only 6 because we are on Zoom, and so you can't have too many people. But also we want it to feel intimate.
Yeah.
We
Sure.
want every mom to have the time
Yeah.
to talk, to say her piece, and we also pair the women up, and so you get time during the workshop to talk just to your partner. So you have one-on-one. We come back to the group. We share with the group like our biggest takeaway from what we learned from our partners. So now not only does the mom have a chance to have a really intimate one-on-one conversation,
Just getting
but now that
validated.
mom is telling the group what she thought was awesome
Yeah.
about
Right.
that mom. And now we're really feeling heard and justified. And I think that's why we were like, we need to put all the workshops
Yeah.
self-study because we need to spend the entire hour just doing this
Yeah.
and listening to each other.
Oh, and because you feel when someone gives you, if we were partnered up and you said, "Oh, I love this about Melissa, that she does this," you're already like your day is already made right there. You're
Yes.
like,
Sure.
"Oh my God, somebody thinks that this is cool about me," and you're not really getting that throughout your day. Like nobody's really validating you when you're running around all the time. Like, "Oh, hey, I love this about you." Like your husband, your significant other, yeah, maybe, but when you hear it from somebody else that you don't know
Yeah.
and they really take the time to tell you what they appreciate about you, it like makes your day. And so that's why we like to partner them up and
Yeah.
share and then come back and tell everybody what they appreciate about each other.
And I know we're almost out of time, but I do want to say, as we create this monthly membership, we're trying to keep that going. So I mentioned we have guest speakers. So there'll be a monthly Zoom meeting where you can log on to the Zoom and then listen to the topic of the month with the guest speaker. But then we also are going to do, each of us will do a live on the private Facebook group. And so again, I'll do one, she'll do one. So you have 2 opportunities to once again go and actually ask your questions.
Yeah.
And so that we can be with you on your journey and say, okay, we talked about this last month. How's that going now?
Yeah.
Right.
And they can check in. I tried that recipe. This is what happened. Okay, let me get back to you and answer that question.
Yeah.
So just a little bit more time for people to feel like they're part of the community, reach out to us. And also in those different levels of membership, we also offer consultations with
Yeah.
each of us one-on-one. So if you are a mom going, okay, all of this like sparked all these ideas, then you can take that to us, more fitness and nutrition, more cooking, spiritual, mental side. But you can meet with us and go, okay, now I want one-on-one support of how I can actually lay down
Yeah.
a plan
Yeah.
to get to where I want to be.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, that's one of those things where I like to say, be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Totally.
So, is there anything else that you would like to say? Tell us the website one more time where they can sign up, because again, you only have 6 slots. I don't know how many are left for the January spot, but
Maybe 1 or 2.
one or
One or
two. So where
two.
can they go again?
It's mama360.org, MAMA360.org. You'll see more information about us and a little bit more outline of the
Yeah.
workshops, and then you can register right online for January, February, or March.
Nice, nice. Now, is social media attached with all of that? Do you get the social media after you sign up? Can they find you now, or where's that?
We have a private Facebook group, so when you're in the workshop,
Yeah.
you will be added to the
Nice.
Facebook group,
Yeah.
but it's completely secure.
Yeah.
And then if you're in the membership, in the monthly membership, you get to stay in the
Yeah.
Facebook group.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah.
other than that, like, we'll post on our private page, but I think it's just so close to our heart. We're like, this is above and beyond social media.
Sure.
We don't need to be spreading it
Right.
and
You're not trying to get 50,000 followers in 2
no,
days.
I
You
mean,
just want to
it's
impact the one
$30
lady.
to do
Yeah.
4 workshops. Like, this has never been about making money.
Sure.
And so for us, I think we
Right.
almost feel like, let's not pressure ourselves by trying to have the Instagram account and the Facebook account.
Yeah.
Like, we'll post about it when we want to on our
Yeah.
private
Let it
pages.
come when it
Or even
comes.
like something
Exactly.
like this, where if it's on our social media, hey, check out what this is that we spoke about, you know,
Right.
so that they
Yeah.
can get an idea of what it is. But, I mean, we're both moms and both have other businesses, and I love social media, but at the same time, I'm just...
Right, it's tiring.
It's
It's a whole.
tiring.
It's a
It's
whole
too
nother
much.
job.
It's too much.
It is a whole nother job.
And we want to find the moms. We don't want to go do this general like post.
Right.
It's like we want to find the mom. We want word of mouth. We
Yeah.
want the moms that have done the program to go, oh my God, I have to recommend this to my friends because this changed my life. Like
Yeah.
that's our goal.
Yeah.
So mama360.org. Just
Okay.
head to
Yep.
the website
Yeah.
and you'll find
All right.
it.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Melissa, Tracy, thank you so much for being here today
Yeah, thank you for
and
having
telling
us.
us
Thank you.
your story and Mama 360. Go to the website. One more time, the website.
MAMA360.org.
Cool. Go sign up for that January, February, March class, right? Only 6 slots available and maybe just 1 or 2 for this coming up New Year. So definitely check all that out. And this is Tim Marlow, your host to Be the Better Local. Andy, we miss you today, but of course we forgive you. And until next time, be the change you need in the world today. We'll see you guys.
Bye.